Now that we have everything set up, we're going to start a batch. So we're going to call this mini LC test. We're going to add one entry. We're going to call this the mini LC test again. We're going to pick the HPLC gradient mix here. We're in position 1. We have a 10 microliter sample loop, and we're going to hit start. What that's going to do is it's going to start our cleaning cycle. And on the left-hand side here, you can see that our 0 line. Here you can see pressure. You can scroll down further and zoom in, just like you can on your chromatogram. And you can see here what stage we're at. So right now we're in cleaning. You can hear the cleaning. As soon as cleaning is done, we'll be right back. Now that cleaning is finished, you can see that our pressure is fairly stable. The cleaning icon has turned into a play icon, but our baseline has risen up to about 200 counts. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this down arrow, which drops our baseline back to the 0 position, and then we're going to click play, and you can see that extraction is happening. And once the sample loop is filled, the instrument will inject. And now what we see is our live chromatogram. So on this one, we have what's called a reference chromatogram, where you can see in the background, the gray line is a chromatogram that we've run in our lab, and you should get results very similar to this to make sure that your system is running properly. Administrators do have the ability to run the reference chromatogram and designate what sample is the reference chromatogram so that your lab techs know what their chromatogram should look like. Up here in the upper left corner here, I'm sorry, the upper right corner, you can see that there is your pump flow A or B, and you can see your gradient. If we click on A, you can see that A is the exact opposite of B. Up in the top right corner here, you can see your pressure, your mils per minute, your temperature, and how much time you have left. Now that we've been running for a bit, you can see here that we do have peaks that came off, the blue peaks. They came off roughly about the same as where the gray peaks were. Again, differences in mobile phases and run conditions are going to give you slightly different results, but you should be able to go, hey, that's exactly what my chromatogram is supposed to look like, and you can go from there. And what you can do is, just so that everything, you can move through the user interface, you can right-click and drag the chromatogram around. You can click on the center wheel, and you can highlight, and then you can look at a peak very closely. If you left-click and hold on the line, it pulls up your X and Y axis. So your X axis is your time, your Y axis is your counts. So you can get an idea of how tall your peaks are. So you can look at their height, and you can look at the width of them in time. That way you can take a look at things. Now that we're zoomed in, if you right click again, you can scroll back and forth, and you can follow along with your line here as well. To get back out, just double click the wheel, and it brings you back to the full expanded view. Other thing that we want to show you is up here on the pressure. You can see that it fills in the pump flow, the gradient flow, or whatever you want to call it, as it goes in, so you know where you are on your time.